Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video and another unboxing and first impressions. As you can see, we're featuring Ginault this time on the channel, and I already featured this brand on the channel before. They're the OG high quality homage or micro brand. They started off by making an homage to a Rolex Submariner by creating a mix of different generations of Submariners, combining dials from one generation, hands from the other, bezel, case, everything. They wanted to create like the ideal Submariner, but done in such a high quality way that the way the watch feels and the way the watch looks actually matched the original. This is their latest model. It's called the Expeditioner, so let's open it and see what we got. These are hand built in America, which they proudly state, and the packaging and the whole watch is actually like a luxury experience. Now, I already removed all the protective film from the watch, but this thing comes with so much protection, like they could put Rolex to shame. So here you get a nice leatherette box. You get the watch on a pillow, you get a sizing screwdriver because the bracelet does have screws, and the bracelet is a story on its own. We're going to have all that for the full review, but it is one of the best bracelets or best recreations of an actual Rolex bracelet that you can find on the market. And you get the warranty and also the timing data, because each one of these watches is regulated over a period of 6 weeks, and it's powered by a Sellita SW200. So let's remove this and check out. This is the timing data. So each watch gets regulated, gets tested, and once everything is complete, once the actual owner of the brand does the final inspection of the quality control, the watch is then shipped to you. Also the warranty is always done to a name of the buyer, so it is like probably the most luxurious experience you can get from buying a micro brand. But let's move all that away and get down to the watch. Now, just like the Ocean Rover, which is like evoking the Submariner, and over the years they changed the hour markers to something more original to like separate or to distance themselves from that. This one evokes a Rolex Yachtmaster, not only because of the blue dial and red details, but because of this bezel insert. And this bezel insert is quite cool because this is not steel. This is actually ceramic. It's colored in this platinum gray color, as they call it, and it really does resemble the platinum bezel of the Rolex Yachtmaster. And I do love the fact that even though it has these polished parts that are raised, being ceramic, it's not gonna show scratches easily. Now, these come with a date at 6 o'clock, and I do love the red accents of the seconds hand, the Expeditioner inscription, and the date, which uses a red font. And you can opt for a crystal with or without a cyclops. I went with a cyclops, and it's slightly more expensive. Now, this watch I can't wait to put under macro, because these were the first, and like I said, the OG micro brand, where even putting under a macro you could not find any flaws. This is probably one of the best made micro brand watches you can find on the market, especially when it comes to the bracelet, the case finish, and all of that. This, like, if you wanna experience how a modern Rolex feels when you operate it, from the crown operation, from the bezel operation, very nice. Oh my god, this is probably one of the smoothest bezels I've ever tried, if we ignore my Submariner. If you want to feel how a modern Rolex bracelet feels, the clasp, everything, this is as close as you can get. There's a ton of homages and micro brand watches that use this same type of a clasp, this same type of a bracelet. All the specs are matched to this, but once you operate this watch, you realize why it costs as much as it does, because this is a $2,000 micro brand that is actually an homage of a known brand. So that's quite high for something that's trying to be original, but you can clearly see what it's been inspired by, and a micro brand. Part of that cost is probably the fact that it's made in America, but a large part is the quality of this. The silkiness of the bracelet on the inside, the way, I mean, the tolerances between the bracelet and the case, the clasp, not only the technology behind the clasp, which, like I said, many micro brands already offer, the on-the-fly adjustment and all that, but the way it feels when you operate it, you know, the nice clickiness, the smoothness of the operation. This easily matches my Submariner, and this is what makes this watch very, very impressive. The dial is available in, I believe, 4 colors. You have black, you have this blue, you have white, and you have pink, which is called cherry blossom. And it's a beautiful sunburst dial, but it is enamel, so over it you have like a very smooth surface, even though it creates like a sunburst effect. So this thing should look epic under macro. The hands are large, the markers as well. So we're gonna test the lume. We're gonna put this on my wrist, because I did size it, although I now messed up on the flat adjustment. Can't remember where it was, but that's okay. So let's put it on my 6.5-inch wrist, because this is a 40mm watch, and it has like, I believe, under 47 lug to lug, or around 47. I'll have the specs in the corner of the screen, and as you can see, it's pretty much a perfect fit for my 6.5-inch wrist. And the coolest thing is that even though it comes with 300 meters of water resistance and automatic movement, it's actually thinner than my Submariner at 11.5. So the watch wears spectacularly on the wrist. Now, like I said, I did feature the Ocean Rover, the original one, then the Ocean Rover 2 that uses these markers. But I cannot believe how much a simple insert change on the bezel and the dial color can transform the watch. Okay, the dial color so-so, but this bezel insert being done in this, as you can see, platinum gray, as they call it, completely transforms the spirit of the watch compared to the Ocean Rover 2, and I really do like it. And like I said, these red accents are really something else. So these are available as a pre-order, because they are always making, like, I believe they can make a couple every week, and they're usually sold out because of how high quality they are. I mean, the printing and everything, I hope you will see under macro when I do the full review, but whenever I reviewed a Ginault, they were always incredibly well made. But like I said, the quality control, that's all cool, but the nicest thing about them is that they actually managed to recreate the feeling of operation when you use something that is exactly the same as Rolex, that's been refining theirs for decades, and these guys managed to catch up in just a couple of years. A very beautiful watch, and like I said, I do love that it's very thin. The case is a combination of brushed and polished surfaces, and it is what we all want Rolex to do, because Rolex used to have these more complex cases where you had the brushed part on top, you had the polished side, and then you had this polished bevel. Rolex kind of ditched that in favor of a very slab-sided case for their Submariner. Now they kind of reimagined that with the titanium, I believe Yachtmaster or something like that. So we do hope they're gonna get this into the regular Submariner, but by that time you can enjoy watches like this, because this really elevates the case. It makes a boring case look much more dynamic. Very cool. And usually all the brushing, all the polishing on these watches is done to a spectacular level. Anyways, we did the wrist shot. We're going to do a lume shot, and that's going to be it for today, because I don't want to babble around. And do stay tuned for the full review when we put this under macro. So let's charge the watch. Okay, with the watch charged, let's bring it in so that the camera can focus, and turn off the lights. And the lume is standard for Ginault, so it's very good. It's not like breathtaking like a Seiko, because as you can see, this is also, I believe, BGW9, so it glows blue and is white during the day, so naturally it's going to be slightly weaker than the green colored lume that Seiko uses. But this, trust me, is more than adequate, not only because of the quality of the lume, but the amount of it found on the dial. Very nice. So like I said, in the pre-order phase, the price drops by, I believe, like 30%. So if you are interested in something like this, definitely get in the pre-order phase, because it drops the price to like $1,400 or something like that. I'll have everything in the corner of the screen on those specs. And another thing that Ginault does better than Rolex is the AR coating. I'm always genuinely impressed with the AR coating on these things. The camera sadly cannot catch it, and I always try to like do a comparison between Rolex and this, and I'll probably have that for the full review. But trust me, in person, something that the camera cannot explain is, I'm not show, is just how clean and clear this crystal looks, especially when you go into not ideal lighting situations, where my Rolex is going to show something like this that the camera sees like this. On this one, it's gonna look like this. So it's like the crystal is not even there. It is truly impressive, and something that it's sadly very hard to catch on the camera. So if you want a watch that will give you the same feel of operation as a Rolex but be more legible than a Rolex and actually have a better hair coating, you can get this thing. It's just a fraction of the price of Rolex, but I understand that it is very expensive for an homage micro brand, but trust me, the quality is there. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.